All right. So now we're doing FreeCodeCamp Legacy Python for everybody. Relational databases join operation. All right. So before we get started, make sure we've got our notes out. I'm going to come down here and we're going to format it just a little bit. We didn't really have to do too much yesterday, so the formatting is going to be simple. Boom. Let's drop it down a couple more. 1, 2. How about that? All right, let's go over here and let's change this to the 11th and let's get started. All right.
So now that we've
using join across tables. All right, let's do that. Let's type that down right here using join across tables. All right, let's go.
So now that we've carefully constructed our relationships in the tables, we need to reconstruct the data to show our users. And you can kind of see how you would go pull this stuff together, but there's a wonderful capability in relational databases called join that brings this all back together.
Okay. Let's write this down before we get into the whatever he just said. Relational power. Let's start here. Relational power. Oops. So by removing the replicated what? All right. So by removing the replicated data and replacing it with references to a single copy of each bit of data, we build a web of information that the relational database can read through very quickly, even for very large amounts of data. Okay. We'll read that again in just a second. Often, when we want some data, it comes from a number of tables linked by these foreign keys. All right. So by removing the replicated data and replacing it with references to a single copy, so the 1s and 2s instead of the album names and all that, of each bit of data, we build a web of information that the relational database can read through very quickly, even for very large amounts of data. Yeah, because if we're just, like we said yesterday, if it's just a 1 instead of like the whole War and Peace as a name, the whole of War and Peace as a name, yeah, that's a lot faster. You know, it doesn't have to go through reading strings. It can just read integers. Pardon me. So often when we want some data, it comes from a number of tables linked by these foreign keys, right? So some data that we would get, like a name, address, and PlayStation ID, I guess, would all be on, the name would be on one table, the data, or whatever I said second, address would be on another, and then the PlayStation IDs would be on another table, and we link them all together using foreign keys, all right? So let's go.
And so we have done this for efficiency of storage, efficiency of scanning, etc. But we do need to traverse these foreign keys at times, and the database software will do this for us automatically. So the join up.
Okay, the join up. Join up. So let's do that. Let's drop it down more. The join operation. All right, the join. Whoa, is it? Oh, it's got to be a keyword. Okay, I was thinking like just on in Neptune or something, some sort of acronym. But nope, I don't think it's going to be that. operation links. The join operation links across several tables as part of a select operation. Right? For selecting stuff, I guess. All right. We must tell the join how to use the keys that make the connection between the tables using an on clause. All right, so there's going to be an on keyword, it seems. All right, so let's go.
Operation basically is a way to specify in a select statement that you want to pull data out of more than one table, and then specifying using what's called the on clause exactly how you want that data pulled out.
All right.
And so here we go.
All right, let's look at this. So we got the album right here, the artist, and then the who made who. All right, so select album title, album.title, okay. Artist.name, okay. From album, join artist on album art.artist ID equals artist ID. What? What's going on? Just him? Oh yeah, that's not me at all. That's Chuck Severance right there. That ain't me. Tell it to him. He's right there. ChuckSeverance.com. I don't know what his thing is. Anyway, select album artist. Okay, so what were we doing? Album title. So this artist dot name. All right. From album, join artist on album.artist ID equals artist ID. What? From album, join artist on album.artist album.artist ID equals artist ID. What? All right, let's listen to him talk about it.
We already have a table, an album table to the artist table, and the foreign key, and we want to, in effect, pull data from both the album and the artist, the album title and the artist name, and we want to show that. And so we're going to say select, which is the same select statement. Here's a little different syntax. This is the list of fields. This is table.field. So it's the album title and the artist dot name, comma there. From the
all right. I get it. All right. So what we're going to do here, let's write this down. So what we want to do here is let's make an example. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness, sorry. All right, here we go. Select example code, example SQL code. All right. Select album.title, all right, artist.name, from album, join artist on album.artist underscore ID equals artist.id. All right. So what I'm thinking is this is a little bit confusing, right? But I'm also thinking that we're going to probably do this so many times that we'll just understand it. We'll understand it so well, we won't even know how to describe it using words. Something like that. I think that's probably what it is. Probably. All right, let's go.
Album. And I always start with where the little arrow starts from. Album joined with. So that is going to walk down this connection from album to artist. Album joined with artist. Don't say with, I just say it.
Of course not.
On, and then this is the conditions upon which that join is going to happen. When the album's artist ID, which is this column here, album's artist ID matches think of that as is equal to or matches the artist's ID. So it connects the rows here when there is a match between these two tables.
Okay.
So if we look at this and we see that this one matches this one and this one matches that one, and so it's the join connects conditionally, and it connects when the on clause is satisfied.
Okay.
And so when this whole join runs, this is what we get. So you select all this stuff.
Does it make a new table?
This is an abstraction. Are you writing a loop? Are you doing two nested loops? How are you exactly bringing all this data together? We don't care about that, because that's the beauty of SQL.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of how we do this in a database. So now if we can just run this command. So let's grab this command. Select track title, genre name from track, join genre, that exact query.
Hold on. Before we do that, let's open this thing up, because we need to py4e, baby. py4e. Please tell me that one is relational database. Nope. Code 3. Nope. We can't find it easy. Let's go lessons, databases, handout, Python for everybody handout. Put you. All right. And we're coming down here. Where were we? Did we do this one yesterday? Oh, we're doing this select. Okay, so let's grab this. I'll do a little copy. Let's oh, you weren't supposed to see that. Oh, you saw it. I'm a video game addict. I can't help it myself. Anyway, I've also got this over here. This is the first time I've ever had both of those games on my computer at the same time. That's how addicted I am. Anyway, so let's go back. So here we are. Let's open database. It's in here, music database. Ah, yes. So let's go over to execute SQL. Drop it here. The little select. So select album title, artist name from album join artist. What? Is that what we just did? I thought we were doing something else. Say what? We were doing genre, right? This one. I guess he changed it. He must have changed it. All right, let's go back to the video and see. I'm pretty sure he changed it. All right. Yeah, he changed it. So we're going to get the genre, blah, blah, blah. So let's grab that one. Genre. Here we go. Copy that one. Let's come back over to the little SQL. Control R. And looky here. Is that how Black Dog goes? No, that's the Immigrant Song. Okay. So we did that. Let's go back to the video.
Track title, genre name from track, join genre, that exact query. Case of keywords doesn't matter. And we go over here and we run this as SQL, and we run it. We get, oops, I got too far.
Where'd you go?
Let's do this one. So let's do that one there. Select artist name.
Oh. All right, let's redo it. Can we undo that? Let's do this one. Control R. Okay, so we got the ones from the other example. Okay. So let's go.
I have to add that one to my little cheat sheet. The next time you see the cheat sheet, it'll be right.
True.
So the title, so this is coming from one table, and that's coming from another table.
True.
Okay. And so that's one. So here is something we can do that gives us a little more detail on that. We can say,
what?
So this is where the connection is. So you can think of the join as sort of spreading one table and connecting it to the other table. And so what we're going to show here is it's exactly the same. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to add these two columns so you can see where the match happens. And so this is one table, this is another table, and these are the kind of columns in common, even though they're not. They're the columns that match. This is where the on clause is happening, right? We have taken
what?
This table joined with this table on these two things connecting with each other.
True.
So you can almost, in some language, some variants of SQL, this would even be a where clause. So you connect these two rows, but only connect them when those two numbers match.
True.
So you can see, I mean, if we run this, I'll just run this.
Oh, can we run it? Let's go see if we can run it. Here's this. Oops, let's go out of this. Let's see. I think this is the one. Yeah. So this is the select album.title and all that stuff. So let's grab this. Come on over here. Do Control A, Control V, Control R. And we can see it gives us the 2, 2, right? So this is what happens when we do select album.title, album.artist ID, album.title, artist ID, sorry, album.title, album.artist ID, artist.id, artist.name, from album, join artist on album.artist ID. From album. So from album here, join artist here on artist.id equals artist ID. So artist ID needs to equal artist. Artist ID needs to equal ID. All right. So that's cool. Album. This is album.artist ID. I know you know. I know you get it. And this is artist.id. All right. So let's go back to the video and watch some more.
And again, you just see these. This is where it connects.
Yep.
Okay. Now, interestingly, we can see what happens and what the purpose of the on clause is if we omit it. So this is exactly the same as that previous query, except there's no on clause. So it's select all 4 of those fields from the track joined with the genre. So it's basically taken the track table and the genre with a join, but no on clause. So it's not filtering for matches. This is a match, this is a match, that's a match, that's a match. But we don't have an on clause, so the matchness doesn't matter. And so you're going to get all possible combinations. And literally, if there were, 10 on one side and 30 on the other side, you would get 300 rows in that join. So it'd be all combinations, except the on clause reduces the combinations. And you might think, whoa, this is really inefficient. And I will say that's what my first reaction was when I first saw this. But it's not inefficient. That's the beauty of abstraction. That's the beauty of SQL. You say do it, and it just figures that out.
Okay, let's put that in our thing. All right, so let's grab that from here. Was it this one? There's no on, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this, the one we messed up on earlier. Yeah, this. Let's grab it. Control A, Control V, Control R. And yes, we can see genre, ID, and ID don't match on this one. Pretty much every other one, they don't match. Or something like that. All right, so let's go.
So let me grab this, and you will see that we can run this one as well. And that kind of gives you why the on clause is important, because now we have a whole bunch of these things. And the on clause just filters that out. So if we would just add the on clause back in, then that would only show the ones we showed on the previous slide. So that's why the on clause is important. The join is like all possible combinations of all pairs of rows between these two tables. On is, but only where these two things match. Now you might think that it's inefficient, but the on clause turns out to be the way it becomes efficient.
True. Obviously.
Okay.
Okay. So what's this?
So now we're going to do the same thing where we're just going to take the track title and the genre and going to connect that together. So we select this. We need to join from one table, join to the genre table with an on clause. And so we're going to make those connections.
It'd be the same thing, right? What did we write down in our notes? On album, yeah, it's the same thing. From album, join artist. From track, join genre. Track title, track.title, genre.name. The same thing, basically. It's just instead of artist or album, it's track and title. track and genre, I should say. So it's the same thing. We can also, so we'll just do that. We'll type this down anyway. Select, let me make it bigger. Bring this back to us. All right, so select track.title, genre.name. All right, from track, join genre on track.genre ID, genre ID equals genre ID dot ID. All right, so it's the same thing, you know, just select two things. Maybe we can do three, I don't know. From a table, from the track table, join genre table on track.genre ID. All right, so this is a row and this is a row too, or a column. This is a column, this is a column. All right, let's go.
And the only thing we're going to look at is the title and the genre name.
Okay, so let's go back over to this, and we can do this right here. And we can go over here, Control A, Control V, Control R, and we can see Black Dog, Stairway to Heaven, For Those About to Rock, and Who Made Who all have their corresponding genres associated with them. Let's go.
Oh, oops.
Oops.
And then run that. And so we got the title and genre name. Now the thing you'll notice is for the first time, we now have replication of string data in a vertical dimension. That's okay.
Okay.
Because the data is not replicated in the database. The data is now replicated as a result of the join. And so we are going.
Okay, so this is the since this is a query, it's fine because this rock is actually this rock and this rock are the exact same rock. They're just displaying the rock here and they're displaying rock here. This metal and this metal are the exact same metal. They're just displaying it in two different places, right? It's like having a picture of your grandma and having two copies of it, right? That's what's going on here. Let's go.
We're going to reconstruct what the user wants to see, which the user originally, all the way back to the beginning, wanted to see the duplicate information in the vertical axis. But now we're reconstructing it. We didn't waste the space or performance in our database, but we still have to show them. And so now the next thing we're going to do is a monster.
Oh, it is. Let's look at it before we go wild. Select track.title, artist.name, album.title, genre.name. All right, so four different columns. From track, join genre, join album, join artist. So join all four of these tables. On track.genre equals .genre ID equals genre ID. So these two are going to equal each other. And track.album ID equals album ID. Okay. And album.artist ID equals artist.id. All right. So we're just joining them to each one. So this ID and this ID, this ID and this ID, which they're all the same, right? It's going to be 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, whatever. All right. So let's go.
We are going to reconstruct across all four tables. And you might think this is really hard. And sure, it's going to be a little tricky.
Little bit.
But as long as you follow the naming convention. And the naming convention makes sense. We're going to do a select from the track's title, the artist's name, the album's title, and the genre name. From the track, join genre, join the album, join artist. And so we're...
Yeah, it's so easy, actually, if you really look at it. It's just table ID, table ID. Pardon me. Is it table? Hold on, let's go.
The joins follow the little arrows, right? And then the on qualifies each of those arrows, when to follow the arrow. And then this becomes pretty easy. It's a foreign key. The track's genre ID, that's a foreign key, equals genre.id. The primary, that's primary key, that's a foreign key because I name it that way. And I know that this goes to that genre table because I name it that way.
True.
And track's album ID is equal to the album's ID. foreign key, primary key,
True.
and album's artist ID is equal to artist ID.
True.
After a while, you can type these pretty fast as long as you follow a naming convention and you know the naming convention. So
True.
this looks like it's really hard to do, but after a while, it's really just a pattern. So let's go ahead and...
Absolutely. All right, so let's do what he's talking about doing. Let's come over here, and we are going to be using this one, this bottom one. Shabloink. Let's grab it. Come back over here to our little SQLite. Enter. Oh, no. Backspace. Control R. And we can see Black Dog is by Led Zeppelin on album Floor 4, and it's rock genre. Okay, great. Let's go.
Run that one. And it will, assuming we've done everything right, replicate all the data. So there's all kinds of vertical data now being replicated. Every column has vertical data. Again, it's not in the database. The select and the join are reconstructing vertical data as it needs to be shown to the user. And so, if you've been following along,
we have been.
Probably a couple hours later now, we started with a picture that was our mock-up of what we wanted our user interface to look like. And it had vertical stuff. And we're like, oh, we can't put that in a database model.
True.
And then we carefully built a database model that didn't have the data. And then we're like, we got to reconstruct it. So we used join to reconstruct it. And so after all that, we went here with a clean little model with 4 tables all beautifully connected together. And then we had to join it all back together. So join reconstructs it. And again, the key is the storage is efficient, the scanning is efficient, and we still use the join to produce the output that we ultimately want with all the sort of vertical the vertical replication that our users really want to see. So, so one more kind of relationship. That was called a one-to-many relationship. That was actually 3 one-to-many relationships, and the other major relationship is what's called a many-to-many relationship.
Many-to-many. All right. So that looks good. Anyway, whatever. So here we go. Question: when using a join clause in a SQL statement, what does on do? Oh yeah, we just did that, right? Indicates what table to perform the join on. It specifies the field to use for the join. Indicates how the 2 tables are to be joined. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to guess on this one. When using a join clause in a SQL statement, what does on do? We literally just did this, and it's right here. It matches them somehow, right? Specifies the fields to use for the join. I guess this is it. I guess it's B. No. Indicates what tables to perform. Indicates how the 2 tables are to be joined. I don't think it's how, but it might be. Let's do the first one first. Yeah, it is this one. Indicates how the 2 tables are to be joined. Is that really it? How? Oh, how. Yeah. Track touch. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so it is this one. Check the answer. Looks good. 93%. Look at that. You can taste the finish line and submit it. All right. So now we're on to relational databases, many-to-many relationships, and we'll see you next time.